कल खेल में हम हो ना हो, गर्दिश में तारे रहेंगे सदा। भूलोगे तुम, भूलेंगे वो, पर हम तुम्हारे रहेंगे सदा। रहेंगे यहीं अपने निशान, इसके सिवा जाना कहाँ। जी चाहे जब हमको आवाज दो, हमें वहीं हम थे जहां। अपने यहीं दोनों जहां, इसके सिवा जाना कहाँ.
Welcome to India New News. When it comes to legacy in the Indian American community in Boston and New England, only one name comes to my mind, and that is Harish Dang. He is in our studio today, and we are going to talk to him about his journey. Thanks, sir. Welcome to our studio.
Welcome. Thank you so much.
And it's really an honor for us to have you here. And then looking forward to honoring you with our first and inaugural Legacy Award at England Choice Awards Gala on November 15th.
Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. And thanks to you and dear New England, and thanks to actually all the community which made it possible for me to sit next to you and you giving me the award.
Absolutely. It's going to be. And I must say that, your vision and your legacy, 50 years ago, you started South of India, ran for more than 40 years, uninterrupted. Every Sunday, the entire Indian community in this area tuned to your radio station.
Well, that's not the correct statement, uninterrupted.
Correct me.
We did, in one show out of 41 years, we were 6 minutes late.
That's it. Okay.
I can never forget that snowy day when I was a block away from my radio station and I got stuck. And then I ran with my boots on and with my 2 bags in my hands. So it took me 6 minutes to run to the station. And that was the only time we missed it. We never missed a show.
Well, in 41 years, that is okay.
No, it's just one of those things. I always remember that day.
So now, South of India was a household name, and still it is. People, when you talk about South of India, people feel very, very nostalgic about it. And I remember when I moved to Boston in 1992, one of the first thing I was told that listen to this radio station. And I think after that, I did contact you when I started Indian News, and I came and visited your office to ask about, should I start this the newspaper? Yeah. So now let us go in the very beginning. How did you come with the idea of Sounds of India?
Actually, the idea came when I was at school. I was at Harvard, and along with MIT, we used to run an organization called Sangam. Mm-hmm. And all they did was bring a movie every Sunday to 26100 MIT. That was the place, Mecca for all 1,000 plus families of South Asian sent over here. So we would all be there, because that was the only entertainment, only connection back home. And then what would happen is, those days the movies were not like digital and all. Sure. Right now. They used to be come in spools of like 15 reels, 17 reels, and they were very bulky, very big. And they would come in Greyhound bus from New York, where the distributor would send every week. And sometimes there was snow and we couldn't pick up, or half the reels didn't arrive, or sometimes it was a wrong movie which we had advertised, or they had advertised, So it was just a necessity at that time, that how do we let people know that which movie it is and whether it has arrived or not? Because Sunday afternoon, people waste a couple of hours, 3 hours coming and going when there's no movie. Mm. So we thought, Sunday morning, is there anything which can be done so that we can tell them which movie? So that was the start.
Idea, okay? Sure, yeah.
And then Binita, my wife, came up with that idea, and we started to shop around. We came from India, so naturally we only had seen with Bharti and Radio Ceylon, and we didn't even know that you could buy the time in this country. And then we found out there were stations, you could rent, the timings. And so anyway, long story short, we found a place, we found a half hour, and there were 4 advertisers on day one because there was one grocery store, one sari store, and one insurance agent. Anyway, so those 4 businesses supported us at that time.
And at that time, there was no way to communicate except you guys.
That was it. And that's why we did Sunday, because that was the only day we would all meet together.
Mm-hmm.
So we just wanted a platform for the community that we could tell them and then meet everybody there. And then slowly, as the numbers went up, more stores came in and more avenues came, like your newspaper came in, that gave a lot of information. Sure. But that was a little bit later. And it was just one of those journeys where we just loved it so much that every Sunday morning we were so happy that we would get farmaishes and people would call and write letters. Those days there were no emails and there were no
cell phones, no smartphones,
no cell phone, no CDs, no DVDs. All the records we used to play. So it was a different world altogether. Hard to imagine today for people.
So now, do you remember your first program?
Yes,
so
I remember vividly that program. We went and we only had half hour and we were very naturally nervous. So we started that year's songs. In 1974, Yaadon Ki Baarat and Ek Pyar Ka Nagma. Binny actually sang a few words of Ek Pyar Ka Nagma, and then we went into the record. So from the first show on, we were very careful in how we presented the show. And the songs we played, Chupa Lo Yun Dil Mein Pyar Mera, those were all that 74 songs. And then we had a problem, we couldn't find the records. So either you go to India and bring those, or you go to New York and try to get whatever you can get. So that's how we did the first show, and it became so popular that we started to get a lot of feedback.
So now, thanks to Mother Nature, your sound was perfect for the radio.
Wow.
And I mean, still when you talk, you just sound like, what a wonderful.
Thank you. I love to recite, yes. This is one regret I have, that I don't sing.
Mm-hmm.
And but reciting Sahir Ludhianvi Kalam or Shailendra Sahab's lyrics, and I just love that.
So when you come to Sahir Ludhianvi, what is your one of the favorite which?
मैं पल दो पल का शायर हूँ.
Yeah, amazing.
मैं पल दो पल का शायर हूँ, पल दो पल मेरी कहानी है, पल दो पल मेरी हस्ती है, पल दो पल मेरी जवानी है, मैं पल दो पल का शायर हूँ.
So now this nadam, this pal do pal ka shaयर हूँ, is so fitting for the Legacy Award. This is really truly reflects that. Now, of course, those of us in the community and many of the supporters and our readers who really championed or nominated you for this Legacy Award, they know about your legacy. But if I ask you, Harish Saab, what you think is your legacy in Boston, what you will say?
I would say that we created a platform for community where everybody would come together when they had no other place to go. And when they didn't have any access to what's going on back home, we brought them the latest music. And later on, we brought them the music shows. So they didn't end up going to New York to see the big shows. So we started bringing all major singers.
And you also brought Mukesh and all those.
We brought all the singers. We would not go into the actors and all, but when Kumar Sanu became big, we brought him. And Sonu Nigam, before he was big, we brought him, or Alka Yagnik and Kavita Krishnamurti, and 3 times Jagjit Singh. So we every year for about 15 years, we did one show, and every show was at Lowell Memorial Auditorium, where we would always have a couple of thousand people. I was actually looking through one of your magazines, the old magazines, and you had something where it showed how many people came to which event.
Oh, yes. We used to do that list. Yeah, the largest events. Were
Yeah, so people. I saw that a couple of those papers said, Udit Narayan 2200. This,
Yes.
So the thing is, over those things, I think that was a legacy that if we didn't do it, I'm sure somebody, मुझसे पहले कितने शायर आए और आकर चले गए, कुछ नगमे गाकर चले गए, कुछ आए भरकर लौट गए. वो भी एक पल का किस्सा थे, मैं भी एक पल का किस्सा हूँ. कल तुमसे जुदा हो जाऊंगा जो आज तुम्हारा हिस्सा हो. तो और लोग आएंगे और लोग चले गए, लेकिन when we were there at the right time to bring the people together, and I think that's what we want people to know us by, that we were the first ones and the only ones to do that at that time.
Now, talking about the list now, I also remember we also used to do a list, 50 most influential people, and you were in the very first list of that as well. There was many years ago. Dang Saab, 41 years later, you decided to close Sounds of India or make a transition. And I remember at that time, about few weeks before you closed the station or transition, I had chat with you and your wife, Binny, and you had said that you wanted to get out of at the top of your game.
Well, Binny said that.
Binny said that. Okay, yes. She said
but
that.
It's good to leave when you are on top, I think, rather than later on. I think she was right on that. Yeah, but there were other reasons, actually.
Okay. So before we come to the other regions, do you remember your last program on South of India?
Last program was very, very special.
The whole community. They
all took over the radio station. And suddenly I see 20, 30 friends of mine. They have all taken over the thing. And that was our final show, one of the most memorable ones.
Sure. Actually, you wrote an article about that, your final show as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what do you miss from Sounds of India today?
We miss the that connection, and naturally we got so used to it of reaching in time, getting up in time, and making sure we had all the work. So the weekends would mostly be used to write up the script, and my family helped a lot when we were back in India. Sometimes my kids took over or the family took over. So it was now what we miss is, once in a while I do think that I wish I could do one more show tomorrow morning and go there and spend a couple of hours. And because that was the best time of my life. Just like we are talking now.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
And the music, my God, man. And especially you're so much interest in the Bollywood and the songs. And
it was just so beautiful. I used to be on top of the world, and we were the boss. We were, CEO and of everything. And then starting with 4 businesses, going to like maybe 30 businesses who used to advertise. Our shows were so full, and we wanted to continue the community news, which we had promised on day one, that we'll have a 5 to 10 minute segment where we'll not charge any money to anybody. And we kept that promise till the last day. So many organizations started. Your thing started.
Actually, I came a couple of times and you to talk about Indian newspaper.
Yeah.
And I remember also I was at that time working with Thai Boston.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Marketing.
Mr. Deshpande came. Deshpande came, and he told people how he's starting the Thai, and that was they were like, Atal Bihari ji was there in Boston.
Yeah.
Anybody who would be coming from India or from Pakistan, they would just they would call us. And we'll have them on there.
Mm-hmm.
Mayor Flynn was. We had all who is who.
Mm-hmm.
And they would, because this was the only place. And Chinmaya Center started. And then New England Hindu temples. All these Wayland Mosque, where, they had some function, they would tell us. So we never refused anybody.
And that was the only place to go at that time. Because there is no other way to communicate with her.
Yeah.
anybody else.
Yeah.
Now, thanks for this legacy award. Of course, Harish Dang, it is going to you. But I know the whole background about Sounds of India. And it was not only Harish Dang affair, it was the entire Dang family affair.
Yes.
So tell us about, how your family got involved into that and who were how the family dynamics came into Sounds of India.
Well, actually, Binny, my wife, was the one who was the instrumental to start it, when we started it. And then we both worked very hard. She knew a lot of music, and I knew a lot of history of from Dada Saheb Phalke all the way from Sire and from this and that. I knew a lot about that. She knew about songs. So we both got together and we would pick the things. And like I said, sometimes when we were not there, and when we realized we were getting a little bit older and we like old but not bringing the new stuff, at that time my sons joined us. And they started to, like, for 2 or 3 years, they were taking care of the show, which will bring the more young people's choices.
Mm-hmm.
And
and you have two sons. And so both of them were involved.
Both of them were involved. I have a beautiful daughter too, but she was not much involved with the Sound of India. But it was a family affair. And even my uncle Puran Dang, he went there a few times when either we were not well or we were away somewhere. So it was a whole family going over there, working together.
So now let us have some fun. I know your knowledge about the Bollywood movies and also some songs and all is absolutely incredible. So in order to get in your mind through the Bollywood movies, what are some of your favorite movies?
Well, my most favorite movie is of Nutan and Ashok Kumar. It was Bandhani and Bimal Roy production, and not very well known, but the popular movies, I would say Guide and Sangam and probably Pyasa is on top, and Kagaz Ke Phool, which it's so sad that the great people left too early. Guru Dutt's.
It always happens.
Yeah. Right? Sanjeev Kumar means Andi, Tere Bina शिकवा तो नहीं पर तेरे बिना जिंदगी कोई जिंदगी तो नहीं. इतने खूबसूरत गाने और इतनी जबरदस्त एक्टिंग. तो संजीव भी चले गए जल्दी. Madan Mohan left us early. So many of these artists died so young.
Now, talking about some of these artists who left early, Mukesh was visiting US.
Yes.
And he passed away in the US, right?
Yeah. Again, you are bringing up some very sad memories, happy and sad. Happy means we were with him for 2 days.
In that trip?
In that trip, yeah. Binny took Mukesh ji to Macy's in Burlington Mall and got her. He wanted to buy gifts for his daughter and all. So we did that. Actually, he told Binny at the airport when we went to see him off, after the concert, he says, Binny, you're like my daughter. I feel that my daughter is here. That's what Mukesh ji said. A great guy. And Lataji and Mukesh ji's son Nitin, we didn't have enough money to put everybody in hotels. So the only 2 persons who were staying in hotels were Lataji and Mukesh at Colonnade Hotel in near Prudential. All other 11 or 13 people stayed in people's homes. So we ended up having Nitin Mukesh, his son, Mukesh, and Asha Bhosleji's daughter, Varsha. Varsha Bhosle. Unfortunately, she passed away. So, and everybody was having a couple of those people in their home.
And you had a Mukesh program here.
At that time, I was part of it along with Mr. Jinwala. Yes.
Jinwala, okay. Yeah. And then in the same trip, he went to...
answering that question, why it was so sad is because he wasn't feeling that great even at that time, but he did the whole show. And next day when he left, within 6 days, when at Detroit, I think he went to, and that's where he passed away. This was I think ours was the last full show he did. After that, within a week, he passed away. And that was the saddest moment for us.
Now, you also hosted 3 times Jagdish Singh.
Yes.
I mean, so how was that, hosting him? And
that was pretty good. Very, very nice. One time we did Jagjit Singh in collaboration with India Society of Worcester so that they could get some funds. And then one time I think I did it with Bombay Club, and we used to sometimes find partners.
Sure.
And most times we did it solo ourselves. But Jagjit Singh was always great. And Sonu Nigam we brought when he had only 1 or 2 songs under his belt. He only used to sing Muhammad Rafi songs. And even then we filled a lower Moriarty. People were so hungry to see any artist. Later on, Sonu Nigam became big. But I'm just saying at that time, we could fill the halls with no problem at all because everybody just waited all year for the next show. Yeah.
Now, of all the people you hosted or you brought here, especially from the singing side, is there anyone who really stood out to you in terms of as a human being, as a person?
As a human being, Hemant Kumar Sahab was very down to earth.
Oh, you hosted him as well?
We hosted it along with, I think it was with IAGB. But they stayed at our house. Hemant Kumar Sahab and his 5 other people who were doing instruments, they all stayed in our house. I remember giving them our room and we all slept on the ground. And that's how things used to be at that time.
So that is your house in Lexington, right?
Lexington. We used to live with my Puran uncle. We were all together in one house.
Okay. And talking about the legacy, I do miss the summer parties at your home in Lexington. You stopped that. The food used to be great and the songs used to be great there.
Songs means we used to bring all these singers from Boston.
From Boston, sure, yeah.
And they all would come to our radio station and sing. And then whether it was, I can mention all these names these days, whoever is singing,
sure.
Whether it's Shankar, Raghu, or Anuradha, or Shraddha, or Valentinos, and you can Susanna, all of them. We would invite Mohan.
Yeah, sure.
They would all come, or Dinchak, and they would be in our porch.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
and play the music, and we would give a little food. We'll have
the food I loved. I still remember. My mouth is just watering with the food.
Yeah, it used to be fun. Once a year, we did it in our backyard, and that stayed on for about 10 or 11 years. That was great memories. I'm telling you, it just and because of this radio station, and because of the people, the way they would tune us in every morning, every Sunday, I can't thank them enough. I can't thank you enough. And thank you for everything.
Thanks, sir. Thank you so much for your time. And we are really looking forward to honor this legacy of yours and the entire Dang family on November 15th.
Thank you so much. Very humbled and I'm thankful to you.